welcome to Boo Talk. I'm here with Frank and Ben. We've just been talking about Finding Nemo and Shark Tales and other things and
we're gonna put a poll out because I need to know what our audience likes.
I mean, what did you like better, Shark Tales or Finding Nemo? For me, it's Shark Tales.
I think it depends on when you grew up, for one, and it depends on your, if you like funny shit or do you like family, mushy gushy.
You had to grow up in West New
you
York.
Like funny
to
shit,
like
or are you a
Tales.
sheep? No.
Yeah, or are you a sheep?
I'm trying to think. What was the what was that I gonna say? It was a movie that I forgot. I blanked on that.
I always liked A Bug's Life.
I'm glad you brought that up. The comparison. That's what I was saying.
About Bug's
That's what I was saying.
Life right
Do you
now.
remember Remember Bug's Life? And don't remember the other one. Ants.
Dude, yeah, fuck ants.
Never
Ants
saw
are
it. Never
garbage.
watched it. No, I mean, I watched bits of it. It was.
Hunter made me watch it because he thinks
creeped
it's
me out.
better than Bug's Life, and it's not.
You can't
Bug's
watch
Life
it.
is lit.
It's creepy.
It is.
It's creepier because I remember just seeing the commercials for. I don't know if I ever actually watched it because you put on the movie and it had all the previews of all the other movies coming up. And I remember anytime I watched Ants, I was like, that looks like a shitty Bug's Life.
Yeah, every time, dude. Every time.
Like it just looked worse. Like Bug's Life was colorful. It was fun.
Had good actors again.
Like there was a few characters in it who were like who meant to look like realistic and evil and gross.
No.
Everyone was like that in
Hopper.
Ants.
Hopper.
Yeah, the grasshopper.
Grasshoppers.
That was actually Bug's Life was a good.
And I was always mad that they never made a second one.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We don't need sequels.
No.
And in fact, a movie I love that just came out recently, Knives Out. They just got approved for a second and a third for Netflix.
Really?
I'm so against that.
Yeah, I don't know if that.
I'm
they didn't
sick
even
of
leave
sequels.
it. Did they leave it with a cliff, like a hanger?
No, it was a wrapped up one.
They're
It was
just doing it
about one.
completely-
It was like about a killing, about one
Oh, I
death
know.
of
I
someone.
remember watching.
It's just like it. I'm
know how I
tired of
feel about
sequels.
sequels.
I'm tired of it. Like you don't need everything doesn't need a sequel, a spin-off show, another universe to dive into.
That's just lack of creativity.
It's just it's like just something that was great, and can't we just be like, this was great, and we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna walk away into the sunset. Like
I understand, like if people if there's a lot of people that are like major fans about something. Okay, if you want to get together and like make your own spin-off, whatever, that's fine. And then that you shouldn't expect that to make fucking millions because I mean it's not everyone's interest. Some people want to see stories keep going on and shit.
Sure. I mean, I can imagine people who do fan stuff because, I mean, like I'm just like I can't afford to do my own stuff.
I know. Let alone fucking make somebody else's shit.
let alone get people
continue their story.
But thinking it just has been
My
thinking
Name
that
is Earl. Dude, that pissed me off. I don't know if you ever watched My Name is Earl.
my brother used to watch it all the time, so
It ended
in the background.
I just remember I watched it as a kid. Like I would watch it in my parents' bedroom because they had a TV in their room.
That's why Ben's the way that he is.
Yeah, and I would watch that, and then I remember growing up, and blah blah blah, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna start watching this shit again. So I watched it again. I went all the way through, and it ended. And I'm like, this is how it ended? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It ended on like it was like a 2-parter, and they didn't do the second part. I'm like,
Ooh,
what the
that's
fuck?
rough. It's rough. The worst. It's funny is when you could see shows like, I don't know, like when you start to get into making movies. I try not to follow like updates or anything about shows because I feel like that kind of takes you out of the world.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's interesting to watch them in hindsight and kind of think about how like what's happening outside affects the show. Like some shows you can tell like, wow, that felt weird. Oh, they had to end early. They ended a season early.
Yeah.
Or like some shows were like, that was a crazy season. Well, they thought they might get canceled.
When they like swap characters out for a season because one actor's busy or something, can't do it.
You know who
can't
did
do the
that
season.
perfectly though was at least my favorite of it was Wilfred.
Yeah.
Because they'd switch out actors and then they'd come up and be like, what happened to you, Ted? Did you get plastic surgery? Yeah, plastic surgery, Ted. I got plastic surgery or whatever. And then that was it. It was like
they made fun of it.
because I don't
Just
like
subtle jabs.
I don't like it when they replace a character and they don't say it. Because
they just act like it's
because especially
like,
when I was younger, I'd be like
Family Guy when
That's
Meg.
not him.
I was like, wait a second. And then like what would happen to me is like I would watch like
Or that 70s show.
the perfect one was Batman. Okay, so Batman Begins, I watch it, and then I watch Batman. I watch the second, The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Rises, and then I go back and watch the first Batman, and I go, oh fuck, they switched Rachel out. They took a very attractive. What's her name? What was her name?
I don't remember.
Katie something. I think it was her name Katie something. Kate something.
Come on, Jamie.
Either way, she I thought yeah, Batman Begins. I thought much more attractive than Maggie Gyllenhaal. You know, and I don't want to rip on Maggie Gyllenhaal, but I'm about to.
Let's rip on.
I don't find Maggie Gyllenhaal attractive. I just don't.
No
you
one
know,
does.
specifically in those movies. You know, I know that Batman
somebody probably
accidentally saved Harvey Dent. He should have just saved Harvey Dent. You know, he's a handsome man, not like Maggie Gyllenhaal, who's also not a handsome man.
Well, they did that. They did that in that '70s show too. His sister, Lori.
Did they do
Katie
it?
Holmes.
The first season.
I never even noticed that with
First
the
season,
sister.
she was just some random
That's
blonde
crazy.
bitch, and then it was the
But you know
Lori
the-
that everyone knows.
But you know the thing
after
with that 70s show is I never watched that knowing
moved on.
like, oh, I'm watching
It's
season
okay.
one. I'm
Oh,
watching
you didn't
Season
watch it in
two.
order.
Because when I watched it was on TV.
Yeah,
So it was just whatever show was on.
Whatever.
I knew what season they were on. I started learning what season they were on by the license plate at the end.
Oh yeah.
But like that, even that I didn't know what
Yeah.
that meant. It
No,
just
yeah.
I watched whatever episode was on.
And then she got
whatever
arrested.
you know.
She got arrested or
Remember
some
when,
shit,
like,
so she was gone for a couple
Isn't
seasons.
that a weird way to
she's
think
gone.
about? Like, you should what you used to watch for TV? Whatever was on, like just
No,
whatever.
I do that too. Yeah.
Whatever
Dude, everything.
episode happened. I
King
don't
of
watch
Queens.
Yeah, King of Queens.
I don't want to say they're all sitcoms because they weren't, but like that was a lot of just what the fuck was playing.
Yeah.
On. It was either cartoons or sitcoms for me because
Yeah,
that's just what
same.
was on.
It was I
George
watched
Lopez.
George
fucking-
Lopez,
dude,
King of Queens.
all of them.
Let's see, we had The Simpsons.
What's the one? Married with Kids. I used to watch that every morning. That
Waking
was-
up at 3 a.m. to low
Fresh
ride.
Prince.
You know what I mean?
Like, shit. I would get in trouble because my when I was like young, they would set the timer on my TV, you know, and my little ass get up, turn it back on. Didn't know how to set the timer, so yeah, 3 a.m. the TV's going bumping. My dad comes in.
They
he's like,
probably
"Rah."
should have set a timer on my TV. 'Cause I
Did
would be like,
did you
Yeah,
guys watch
after that
Family
also.
Matters at all?
Yeah, Family
Oh,
Matters.
Family
too.
Matters.
I watch
yeah.
Family Matters before school every day.
Yeah.
I spent a summer
Waking up-
watching
waking
Family
up.
Matters and Full House
Or, like,
in my
Saved
grandma's
by the
Full
basement.
Bell.
House, dude. What?
Dude.
But you know how
Family
you can't
Matters
even
taught me
make.
some things.
They made. You ever watch Disjointed? I'm trying to think of like
Disjointed.
new
Sounds
new
familiar.
sitcoms because I don't
It
really
sounds
think they're
familiar.
sticking. No one wants. It's
Yeah,
not the same
like
no more.
It's like a weed shop.
They run a dispensary.
Okay. No,
It's with,
it's on Netflix?
yeah.
I never watched it. I just
It-
see the.
It's
Like-
I'm always
it's all right.
hesitant with
It's
Or
weed
like
humor.
Roseanne.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like the sense of
Roseanne.
this-
Roseanne. I used to watch Roseanne, but I didn't like
You just
whenever I
name
watched
drop
Roseanne, it was
Roseanne?
always like I was supposed to like the show.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you were
and it's
supposed
just
to like
it
It's
made
like,
me feel uncomfortable. It made me feel like because they looked so everything was so poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just made me feel bad. I was just like, I don't want to watch this.
Wait, was Roseanne Rosie O'Donnell? Is that
No,
is
that
who
was
is?
Roseanne Barr. The one who remember when she
her real name is
yeah. I don't want to bring up the one negative thing she did. Well, we'll remember her for the TV show, not her
Roseanne.
Ambien trip.
Roseanne.
But
We got the
I'll tell you what show I've actually just started. We've been
little
watching my
cliff
sister
notes
and I.
right here.
We're about to start season 6. New Girl.
New Girl.
New Girl.
I have been watching that.
I love it. Here's my one thing that
Yeah.
we've kind of figured out. We don't like Jess. Yeah. The few episodes without Jess, when it was Megan Fox, much better.
Yeah, I like
Much
Megan
better.
Fox in that show.
The show, everyone on the show is
I like
fantastic,
Jess.
and I like Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah.
I got nothing against her
I think she
personally.
I mean, it's
well,
like-
I don't know her personally, so I,
feel
don't
like
want to go
it's
that
a
far.
very her
I might have something against
It's
her.
her
Love Nick.
show.
If I knew her.
It's
I love
her
Winston.
show.
Literally her.
Love Schmidt.
Yeah, Winston.
They're all great.
Coach is alright. He's probably down the list for me. Same with Cece. Cece doesn't really have any funny moments. She's just there. She
I don't
does,
like
but
Coach.
she's just there.
Coach is too much.
But like,
Jess just
All
she's
the time.
overboard.
Jess is an
She's
annoying
over the top.
for one. That's where
She tries too hard.
That's where her comedy comes from.
I guess
But
you
there,
call
there
it.
is a couple. I'll give it to her. There are a couple things that make
Yeah.
me fucking laugh my ass off. But it's just like.
but like I would say this, and like, because I like the show because it is really funny, but it's
Ferguson.
like they should really just focus on just the humor because they do try to tell like this story that's like supposed to be sentimental, and it's not really.
Yeah,
Like they
it's
don't
not.
feel like they hit the beats properly. Yeah. Like sometimes they do stuff that really doesn't make any sense. Like there's no like, and I understand like there needs to be a show, but it's like this conflict
it doesn't.
doesn't even make sense for your character or like logic why you would do these things. And also like in
It's just
season
a
5
subplot.
when she's like
It's just a
she's
subplot.
with the boyfriend Sam or like who also has a restraining order on her, she's a psycho. She's like legit. She comes off as a legit psychopath for a good portion of it.
She comes in the car wash.
Yeah, that's the episode we watched last night. She was in the car wash, and that entire thing I was like, first off, all of
Benjamin.
this is
She's like, I'm not crazy.
like
Fucking texting
her
during
just
the
going to the
podcast.
hospital where he works
Come
was
over here and
breaking
whoop that
the restraining
ass.
order.
Yeah.
And
Winston is a
You gotta
cop boy.
literally Winston,
Winston
I am.
cop boy.
yeah. So no, but it's a great show. I mean, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I watched it last night. So it's
I've watched it too many times.
it's a
That's
fantastic
Anna's
show.
favorite show. I can't.
It's just I just don't think I'm just not a fan.
I finished up The
Completely.
Sopranos not too long ago.
See, I actually got I watched it years back, but I didn't watch the last 5 episodes.
Oh.
I know how it ends in terms of the last scene.
What are you doing, silly goose? You got to finish it.
I know. I probably should have done it by now, but I'll get to it. I have consistently have HBO. HBO used to be one of those elusive things that was like only when they have a special.
HBO Max.
I just got HBO Max.
I just got HBO Max also.
It's nice.
I mean, pretty steep, $14 a month.
Check
Woo-wee.
out Veep.
But
VEEP with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It's about her being the vice president. It is fantastic.
I don't like politics shows.
It's
Send
not
it
even
back.
it's
Next.
no, you gotta watch it. I have rewatched the show so many times. It is amazing. It's very fast paced humor,
Okay.
just very like quick witted, and they're just ripping on each other all
why
the time.
I
All the
like-
characters are great. I can't recommend it
I
enough.
like Ozark.
Ozark is good.
Someone just recommended that to me. I
Oh,
gotta get into it.
Ozark is good.
I watched the first episode, and here's my issue with it. It was too blue.
Blue? Listen.
Actually blue.
You know, yeah. you
Like
need
the
to-
color blue.
You need to
Listen.
keep watching. It's not all.
Like I was like, this is really like, show actually I couldn't watch.
It's for dramatic
really.
effect.
Dexter. I don't like the way Dexter's filmed.
I don't like
fair.
you, dude. I
The way
love
Dexter.
Dexter.
Hold on,
Dexter is like my favorite TV show.
I fought through it for a little bit though. I fought
You
through the
fought
first.
through
hold
it?
on.
You're digging a
the
hole.
first 3
You're-
seasons. Let me explain. I'm about to dig it
Is
even
that lit?
deeper. So the first 3 seasons of Dexter is what I watched. All right, first season. Besides the way it's filmed, because it makes me nauseous. I don't like the way it's filmed. It's like it drives me nuts. It's like
Your light stomach
It's like
get
it's like
wheezy.
real close to his face all the time, and I feel like they're like looking down on him.
It's supposed to be that
I
way.
hate it. It drives me nuts. And then like he's like talking in that voice, and that's fine. I like the voice. I got nothing against it. It's just when it's mixed with that close-up shot, I can't stand it. But anyway, so I watched the first 3 seasons. First season, fantastic. That twist, amazing. My friend, he even like hyped it up. It didn't ruin it. Like he hyped it up for the entire season of watching it. It didn't ruin the twist. It was fantastic. Second season, they clearly were about to get canceled, like I was talking about that earlier. So it was real like, is he gonna get caught? Very exciting stuff. Third season, I couldn't have given less of a fuck. Okay, this is how the third season, the dilemma starts out. He kills somebody on accident, or not like it's like a self-defense. Like he kind of goes into it like he's spying on someone or something, doing reconnaissance, and like the person jumps out and like he kills him because he's got to kill him. Otherwise he gets caught. And he realizes that person was a bad person, but not like a really, really bad person. So now he's like conflicted. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I can't get behind. You're literally slicing people up. And I get that you have a code, but I just can't get behind this dilemma.
Well, the code is explained.
No, trust me, it's explained. In fact, when I decided to get back into like film and writing, which I didn't do from like 4th grade to like
Dexter was the turning point
It was
in your life?
actually. It wasn't Dexter specifically, but the first skit I wrote was actually Dexter.
Right.
Like the idea was like it's a guy who's he's like Dexter, but it's things that he considers like evil and inconveniences, like people who cut him in line, or like who's just like people who are just like slightly impolite to him, or cut him off in the freeway, like he hunts them down to kill them.
Small.
Very
fuse.
small things, So that's like what I first wrote, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I should continue writing stuff.
And then Killing with the Joneses came to life.
Well, listen, I wrote.
That actually was, I was driving around delivering pizzas, and I was on Facebook, and I saw on it was like a random article about like a family of serial killers like in a weird cabin, and I was like, this would be an interesting lifestyle. And then I was like, what would it?
When I was really young, I wrote the script called Kyle X, or no, it was Spy X.
Kyle XY?
No, it was Spy XY.
Did you talk about? Were we talking about Kyle XY?
Hold on, and then literally a year later, a show came out, Kyle XY. I'm like, Dad, we're being listened to. There's no way. I was like, there's no way I came up with that.
I got
and
into
then
that.
someone comes up with that title. Are you fucking kidding
Wasn't that a
me?
1-season show?
Something like that. Yeah, I never watched it because I was
I
so
watched it.
pissed. I was like, are you kidding me?
That
I
was-
wrote like an episode to a
Dude, that
show
don't look
called
good.
Spy XY.
That was like the
and
first show that
fucking
I like. I saw it like announcing for it, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that show, and I watched it, the whole thing, and it was 1 season.
This is garbage. Tell
It
me.
wasn't bad. It was like I don't remember how it like.
Tell me.
I think it was like one of those things that was like they just
better.
needed more time to. It was a deep story they wanted to do, but the idea was like, where'd this guy come from? And he's like this fucking like crazy genius, like not like Like at one point, like he
Okay, it's not even close to my story.
they find him like they think he's like a clone or something.
You think he'd write the
Because I
same
believe
story?
from my memory,
Dude, I would have
That'd be
known then and there.
crazy.
They were listening. They've been listening.
it
my whole
opens
life.
up like I think this might be the first scene. It might be just a random part of it, but this is the one I remember the most. Was like I think he's in the woods, like they would discover him. He comes across like this couple or like this teenage girl like and her boyfriend like screwing around in a tent in the woods or whatever, and scares the shit out of him. And then like they take him home or whatever. I don't know why. Like I said, it's vague. I think I was like in 3rd grade when this came out. But like he sits down and like with a pencil, like not drawing, but like jabbing the pencil, draws like a perfect picture of what they were just like that scene. And then like there's another scene. This was I forget when it happened in the scene, but it was also like part of like the promotion. Everything was like the big thing. They like lift up his shirt and he didn't have a belly button. Like that was the thing. They're like,
no belly
Kyle
button.
XY, where did you come from? Well, I don't know why people would like check this. Why there should be a thing that were like, well, let me
'cause-
just check to see if you're human.
Well, yeah, because every human's got. I mean, that's how you get fed as a kid.
Yeah, like, oh my God, you were made in a tube. You know, like
Imagine
way to
not
call
having a
him
belly
out.
button.
You know, like, what if I was
It'd
made
be
in
an
a tube
asshole.
watching
Yeah,
you?
I know.
Like,
Keep your lint.
Like that's a normal thing now.
you know, and then I look down, I have no belly button. That'd be crazy. But no, it was.
Oh, God.
It was intriguing.
one.
You know, I guess if their I don't think their demographic was 3rd graders, because if it was, they failed them because they gave up. But because I was watching. Is that everyone ever see the movie? It was also an SNL skit, but it was a movie too. The Ladies' Man. Can you pull up the Ladies' Man on here? Is that possible? Do you know how to do that? Can't do that.
He can't. I'm not
Never
gonna
mind.
go over there and explain.
Never
it to
mind.
him, 'cause-
Everyone,
We'll be
imagine
all
right
day.
here,
I had to
Leon
tell-
Phelps.
I had to ask him about the knobs.
Jamie, fill it up, please. No. All right, I'll be back.
he clicked the glass.
So I got my vaccine today,
please.
my first dose.
Yeah.
Got the first dose of the vaccine.
How do you feel?
Actually, I feel fine. My sister said that her
Which one did
arm,
you get?
the first one.
Which one is that?
Oh, I think I don't know. She didn't tell me, but the person next to me in line, their person told them. So I'm hoping I got the same one, unless there was a reason they didn't tell me.
Did you get the
didn't know what you
urge
got.
to post
Potentially
your,
the Pfizer, because that's what the woman next to me in line got.
Okay.
So I think I got the Pfizer,
Did
or
you
I
get-
got like I don't know. Honestly, I didn't even look.
Did you get the urge to post your vaccine report card on
I
Snapchat?
got the urge. I got the urge, but I didn't do it.
It's
I
I don't
got
know
the
why,
urge.
but it's so
Here's the
annoying
thing,
to
though.
me.
Here's the thing, though. I'm an attention whore. I want attention.
Jesus
So that's why I stopped myself. I said, Brent, stop. You don't need attention this bad.
Oh my god.
I almost do, but I also knew I wasn't.
Save it for another day.
The reason I didn't do it is because I knew I wouldn't get attention. So it was kind of like, you know, but anyway, so
Cross it
it's
out.
actually like, honestly, like it is a very smooth process. Like I have never seen something operate like so. Like you don't even have to speak. I was friendly to people, so like I was talking, but like you go through like it's really almost made for dummies, because
gotta be.
there's no point where you're like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Even though you have to walk a great distance. Like it's kind of you like just kind of, it's like all these signs. And then like
It's like a Cedar Point.
it just has you think to yourself, oh my God, where do I, sign. Where do I go? And then you see someone come up and they just they walk past you. They don't stop you. They just walk past you and tell you vague information of what to do. Like, keep your mask on, blah, 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 blah. Do you have any COVID symptoms?
Were you at Cedar Point?
It felt like it. But no, because
sounded like.
Cedar Point doesn't run this smooth. There's lines at Cedar Point. There's no lines for this.
It's true.
So, but here's the thing, though. Before I get to sit down to get the vaccine, to get with the person who's going to give me the vaccine, which is your own table with one. There's like a room of, it's like almost like not a warehouse, but it's like a big room with a couple dozen tables,
Like a
all
lunch
spaced
room?
apart, each with a person at it and a chair, and you just get your vaccine there. No, it's like
Like a big lunchroom.
it's a government building. It's like it's not a lunchroom. It's like almost like a hall type thing. Not like it's like carpeted.
Yeah.
Like a banquet hall type thing, you know. But you go to about a dozen people, you show them your ID, you have a little form that you got to fill out, and the last person who chooses which vaccine station you go to stops me when I walk up and asks me, "How old are you?" Because there were signs saying 16 and under can't get vaccines. I just made it past a dozen people and given them an ID, and now this woman wants to stop me and ask me how old I am, and I was like 27, and she's like, "Oh, you got a baby face," and she's like, "Get on."
I would have got arrested at a fucking medical center, dude.
So then I sat down and got the vaccine.
16?
Yeah. So you can't get it. Yeah, that's the cutoff. So I went and sat down to get the vaccine, and
You don't look 16.
for whatever reason, I'm now in this point in my life somewhat afraid of needles. I remember at a time when I was a child that I was not afraid of getting shots, but now for some reason I just get in my head.
He looks at
It's
it.
all
Goes,
in your head.
That's what it is. It's this is what I did though. So I
Puts the glove on.
So I went in there though. Even though this past year I've gotten shots and blood drawn, and actually when I got my flu shot this year, I've never had this before. I didn't even feel it. Didn't even feel it. I thought that was crazy when people would say they never felt it.
You mean like the after? Or
No,
like the
I didn't
actual-
feel
Oh.
at any of it. Like nothing. Like I asked her, I was like, "Did you do it?" And she's like, "We're done." And I was like, my mind was blown. People say that sometimes. I'm like, "You're full of shit. You felt it. Someone's poking you in the arm." But I didn't feel it. But this time I was like, I wasn't too nervous. I was like, "Oh, no big deal." But then like two people before I went were just like talking about how giant the needle was and all this crazy stuff. And I'm just like, "Oh shit." So I went in there, I
One
sat
stick
down,
needle.
and like you sit down,
over here
and like there's a
shaking.
table right here. I'm facing this way, she's facing this way. You're sitting like next to,
Yeah.
almost like you'd see at like a police station,
Yeah.
like in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting like this, and I sat down, and I looked this. She's right here, and I looked this way. And I would not look at her or anything in her hands or anything. I never once looked, and I felt the shot, but I didn't feel any pain actually. I just felt it. Like didn't even feel like not even a pinch. Like sometimes you feel the shot and you're like, "Ooh." But like it's not painful, but
No,
you do feel a
you
little
just feel a
pain.
pinch,
It was
yeah.
more of just like I felt that she poked me, but it wasn't even painful. And then I just went and sat in a tent for 15 minutes, spaced apart with people, and I got up and left.
Nice.
And my arm doesn't even hurt now.
The only time I'm never really,
Must have got a good batch.
I never really had an issue with needles growing up at all either.
Yeah.
But the one time when I went, I think it was for my stomach surgery. When I went to go do that, she put an IV in me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I've gotten an IV like a dozen times, whatever. She puts it in me, and I'm sitting there, and she's talking, and I'm talking to her, and I start sweating. I'm like, I'm fucking hot. Like, is it hot in here? The next thing you know, I like wake up, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, was I passed out? She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What? Like, what the fuck just happened?" I got super, and she's like, "I don't know. You just passed out from the IV." I'm like, "What the fuck does that? Like, what did you put in me?" I don't know.
So-
I just had an IV actually not too long ago.
My brother actually was. He actually went into diabetic shock at my mom's house one time.
Oh shit.
Oh damn.
Because he drank.
Kool-Aid.
He drank apple juice, apple cider,
Oh.
and substituted it for food and took his insulin.
Oh man.
And
That's-
he was on the couch just sweating like crazy, and I'm like, "Yo, like
We need to
had
go.
call an ambulance."
We need to go.
The ambulance came and they like kind of like woke him up and everything. He was like fighting the
They're
ambulances.
like, "Why are you doing any of this?"
And they put an IV in him when they got back and everything, or to the hospital. And they fucking like missed,
Oh my
Ooh.
god, Mrs. Van.
and his arm was
Like
like
swole.
swole. It was huge. And it looked like Quagmire one time.
Where
when
you been?
Where you
Just
been?
gonna go get the
Turns
mail.
up his arm. Yeah, it was
Oh
fun.
my
Say this
God.
past when was it? It was I think around November. I went and got what was it? It was like they send you through a machine. I got like a CAT scan or some shit. They send you
Yeah.
through a machine. So they had to put an IV in me. I've never really had any type of medical things, thankfully. So I never had any IV put in or anything like that. I've had shots and that's it, and blood drawn. So I was like, they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to do this quick test. We have to put an IV in. I was like, well, I guess we'll just have to. It's gonna remain a mystery then. So I guess we just won't do it. And they're like, you serious? And I was like, I guess probably not. I guess I probably should. So I had to like drink this nasty shit,
Yeah.
and they had like because
so
it
you
was
could see it in your butt.
yeah they had to like send something through.
Yep.
And they're like, so they put me through this thing, and they're like, it's gonna feel
Warm.
warm, kind of like you go into the bathroom.
Oh, I hated that.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
It's gonna
Yeah.
feel like you're about to pee yourself.
I was
right?
like,
Is that what I
really?
tell you?
She's like, don't. If you feel like you've gone to the bathroom, don't worry, you did. And I was like, Oh, thank you for the reassurance.
Yeah, because it goes.
I should be reassuring
Yeah.
myself.
Oh, yeah, they do that when I do my stomach because it just goes down to your bladder.
Yeah. So I felt it, and it felt for me like it honestly felt like I just shit my pants. Like I was like I was like, and it felt good though. Like it felt good though. I'm not gonna lie. Like it felt like I was laying like I was laying.
Like,
and,
I've never been so happy to
Can I have
smell my
another
own
one of those?
shit.
No, like I was because I was like laying down and then just like because I had like sweats on. I dressed very comfortably, you know, and I was just like chilling, and then it just felt like just like almost like this warm rush of
Sensation,
water and
yeah.
like liquid, just like the most like not even like heat, but just like this most warm like
It's like you
jelly.
in a hot
like,
tub.
feel,
It's like
and
you
I'm
in a
just like,
hot tub.
oh my god, this is amazing. I'd like to. Is this what it's, if this is what it's like to shit your pants, man? Whew, then I'm
That is
wasting
not-
my
that
time
is-
on the toilet.
That is not what it's like. You ever
Probably
shit
not.
your pants?
No,
Shit,
not
bro.
like that. At
Recently?
least.
Like
I'll
recently?
tell you
Like,
this.
within
Not
the
since
past-
like kindergarten.
Is this where we're
Not
going?
But it didn't
recently.
feel like that in
Is this where we're going
kindergarten.
It's not recently. I was probably, I'll be honest, I was probably like 13, you know. Me and my stepdad were on the car on the way up north.
Oof,
And
the
I'm
car
like,
shits.
yo, I have to shit. And he's like, well, we ain't got to exit for another like 5-6 miles.
You need to
And
pull over.
I'm like, yo.
You gotta pull over.
I'm like holding it. Mind you, I'm wearing silky underwear. So
the Lulus.
Ooh,
no, it was back in the day, you know, some silkies, and I ran into this McDonald's, and I was shitting myself on the way in.
It was like dripping.
It was coming
Turtle
out,
head.
and I shit.
Dog.
I shit everywhere.
ooh.
So you're the guy that goes into McDonald's
I
and puts
took my
shit on
underwear
the walls.
off, and I threw them bitches in the corner, and I left. I left.
I have
that
cleaned,
guy.
you are that. I
Everybody,
have
he's
cleaned up.
that man
I want you to know.
that
I have had
leaves.
to. I have as a busboy, as someone who's done every job in a restaurant. I have had to take shitty underwear out of the bathroom stall.
We didn't let people use our bathroom at Chicken Delight.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. I got two stories about
atrocious.
shits, and then we
No.
can wrap it up. First one I'm not going to divulge. Actually, we got
got a
three
story
stories. I
about
got three
shit
stories
too,
about
man.
shit.
Yeah.
We got a lot of shit stories.
I got three stories about shit. I'm not proud of them. Actually,
Well, I
I
will
am.
say
Do
this:
one.
I got back in the car, and my stepdad said, "You smell like shit."
You didn't clean up or nothing?
I said, no. He's like, "Did you get it on you?"
It's like, yeah, Dad, it's all down my leg and now it's on your
said- I
seat
tried
because
to
you
play
wouldn't
it
pull
off.
over.
I tried to play it off. I'm like, "Nah, man." He's like, "Dude, you shit yourself, man. You stink." I'm like, "Fuck."
Words of
man."
encouragement.
Yeah, I did.
Damn.
I ended up telling him, and he was like, "Man, you left your underwear in there."
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
I said, "Yeah, man. I threw the bitches in the corner. I couldn't."
Oh my God.
God damn.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
So here's
Shit story real quick, bro.
here's the fear I have. So the first one was actually me. I was 6 years old. I didn't shit myself. This was intentional. So I was I was at my friend's house, and this is a story I've told many people. I was at my friend's house, and we were neighbors. He was my best friend growing up. He was the first person I knew, you know, and literally we shared a fence, and
Right.
so literally it was a hop of. That was how I got to and from the house. Hop the fence.
Yeah.
And we're in his backyard, backyards butt up against each other.
Right.
And I forget why I didn't go in his house.
He was that type of friend where you just never.
I think that it was.
I had that friend too.
It was like, it was moments like that. Sometimes we'd get in his house, but then sometimes I didn't go in his house. It was on and off. And so we're playing circus. I recall playing circus. How do you play circus? I honestly don't know. I really don't know how we played circus. I think we just, yeah. Basically, it was like you're gonna be, yeah. We're playing circus. We're playing around like the play set, and I just realized I'm in a pink bathing suit, like trunks, and I'm just like I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta take a shit, and
swim trunks.
my thought process was nothing like it wasn't even don't go inside. It wasn't don't do this. It was I can't make it. That wasn't the process. It was just like here's fine. Like, and between
Drop him. Or just
dropped
do
him.
it on your, just shit
Dropped
down your
him.
leg.
Middle of the game,
You shit.
between the swings, between the two swings.
Shit
You know like the,
on
you know
the
how
ground or in your
on the
pants?
ground. Did you like bend over? Yep. Dropped him between the swings. You know how like the grass kind of gets worn out from the two people
swings is
swinging.
dirt.
You shit right in
Boom!
the dirt pad.
No, right in the middle.
The grass
Boom.
patch
Right there.
between the two dirt patches.
Yep. There's a big jump right there. It was my sister was there. My best friend was there. His older brother was there, who's the age of my
So what
sister.
happened? Did your parents or someone's parents
Everybody's
get involved?
seen this.
They're just
Yes.
like, it's a dog.
So what happened
Oh,
was
everybody.
my sister then decided to hop the fence and not to tell on me, but it was almost like
Tell the neighborhood.
like this was like the funniest.
Hey,
like,
everybody.
She was just like
Brennan took her
she's like
shit.
she was my mom. Yeah, she's like Brennan just pooped in the neighbor's yard, you know, and they're like,
Well, we gotta move.
what?
It was good having you as neighbors. But we gotta-
My friend's parents thought that they thought it was the dog, and I had a healthy colon at 6, and
So blame it on the dog.
anyway, I went to bed without supper that night. That was. But actually, if I
supper
would,
was
Can't
on your
get
neighbor
no
lawn.
more shit.
I'm not gonna lie though. I
I
remember what we had.
We want you
And I was
shitting
very
no
picky eater,
more.
so I wasn't actually upset. I was very picky eater as a child. So really, if I had supper, it would have ended with me
Eating half
not
of it.
eating and being yelled at also. So I really was like fine with that. Second poop story. This one does not involve me. I was just a witness to this one. All right, I'm not going to divulge names on this because that's just crude. Okay, but the story must be told. If he's an adult now, he understands. So my brother's young friend, my brother was 7 years younger than me. I was in high school at the time. And his friend was possibly a few years younger than him. They were hanging out for the day on a nice summer day, whatever, real great day out. You know, the mother took them out places to go different. I think Drew Barrymore's or some shit. CJ Barrymore's, Drew Barrymore's.
I was like, no, Drew. All right.
That'd be a really great.
go see the
Spin the,
horses.
spin the wheel.
Yeah, no. So they went to CJ Barrymore's.
Who am I thinking?
And anyway, so he comes back. They come back. My brother comes in the house somewhat normally. His friend comes in the house with his mother, and they're very urgent. And they're like, I don't want to say his name. He went to
Ted.
he shit himself,
Okay.
and we need to hose him down.
Take him outside.
Hose them down.
They use the shower.
Really? Oh, they clogged.
We let him. I'm not gonna make him hose him down in the backyard. We're not gonna, take him out. We're not gonna take the kid out back and hose him down. We're in a subdivision. It's gonna be,
I would have did that.
So we let him. And let's just say that it was a mess. The house just
It was just everywhere.
it just reeked. It reeked. Like
All
it
right, see ya.
took a while to get that smell out.
Talk to you tomorrow.
What's your poop story?
And then I got the third and final poop story. There's less of a poop story, more of just a joke. While in Sam's Club, she first came up to my mother and sister, and then they loved it so much that they made her find me in the store. This elderly woman comes up to me, and she gets right in my face, and she grabs my arm and goes, "Son, you know that diarrhea runs in the family?" Oh no, she said, "You know that diarrhea is hereditary?" And I was like, "No, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, it runs in your genes." I gave her.
And you're like, Mom, this old lady just.
No, I gave her a hug, laughed, and then and I
Your
left
mom and
Sam's
sister were
Club.
like, haha.
Yeah, that was great. It was great. So those are my poop stories.
My poop story. I've actually shit my pants pretty recently, just from like a fart, like you
Damn.
know, not like it all came out, but you know where like you're farting, and you're like, oh shit.
That was
Like,
that.
I
that
caught
was a
it. I
mistake.
caught it. And
No,
shit.
Like it all okay.
You did it, and you're like,
You know what I'm
no,
talking about?
you
No,
you
I don't
fart
know
and
what
you go,
you're talking
nope,
about.
that one.
Yeah.
It's the one. It's
You're like-
the
You're like,
wave that
if
breaks
I-
the dam.
If I release, if I like relax at all, it's coming out.
I
So,
unclench.
but no,
gonna be
my
a
my
mess in
embarrassing
these
one
pants.
was when I think it was
disgusting, man.
summertime.
I'm
I
getting the
was-
subject.
Because I was
Y'all
sitting in my dad's
disgusting.
basement. Because I was.
He says it was summertime.
It was because I was sleeping in the basement because my dad's house is hot as fuck.
I think
so
they wrote a song about
It was the
this.
summer of '69.
because I woke up, had shit, you know. It's like the middle. It's like 6 a.m. For me, that's really fucking early back then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get up till like noon, 1 o'clock.
Right.
6 a.m.
God,
running
those days.
upstairs, got a shit, and I start to poop. And you know how you feel like the warm. You're like, I look down. I still got my boxers on. I pull my sweatpants down, but not my boxers.
Oh,
So I'm sitting on the toilet. I was sitting on the toilet with my boxers on, and I'm like, oh no, and I pull them down, and I'm like, yep, there it is. It's just fucking stained in my pants.
That reminds me.
Finished pooping.
That reminds me. In second grade,
Yeah, that's
In-
my embarrassing poop
in
story.
second grade, I went to the bathroom.
tired. Why is it so warm?
All right, that's enough.
In second grade, I went to the bathroom,
Frank?
and the bathroom was like in elementary, the bathrooms were in the classroom, you know. So I went to the bathroom,
Yeah, I remember.
sit down in the stall, and first off, when I went to the bathroom as a kid, it was really when I was in school, I really wanted to just kill as much time as possible.
Oh yeah, that's
I'd
what
go in the
everyone
bathroom
wanted
to
to
hang out.
Yeah.
Like the bathroom
The
that was
teacher
in the
come knocking,
classroom.
"You okay?"
I used to go in there because there was like this big like barrier of the wall thing. You know the thing that separates the divider for the thing. I used to climb it.
Just for fun.
I used to go in the bathroom, turn the lights off, and I would just climb.
I can imagine the teacher coming in like midway, and Brennan's like on top of the stall, and the lights off, and just like.
Well, sometimes lights off, sometimes lights
Roll
off.
around the
Lights on,
dirty-ass
lights off.
bathroom.
Sometimes we're challenged, sometimes to shake it up. Sometimes lights on, sometimes lights off. But I would climb
I'm
around.
feeling dark today.
You know,
I'm
I
feeling
really
nights-
wanted to get like I don't know. It was I like to climb around as a child, and that's what it was.
The the bathroom.
I could totally see.
Here's the thing though, I gotta get on the sink and all that.
You gotta get on the sink. You didn't even use the toilet to get up there.
I get on everything. Everything was fair game. Everything was fair game.
Was okay. Well, let me ask you, because my bathrooms in elementary school were literally just like a boys and girls bath, like a single door bathroom with a
Yeah.
toilet and a sink in it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be done.
Can't promise that.
So
Jungle Gym.
you had like actual stalls.
No, it was one. Okay, so you walk in. It was one toilet.
One stall and
One
then like
toilet.
the sink outside the stall.
This is what you walk in, sink, in some or they were flipped, but sink with a mirror, and then it was a toilet, but the toilet next to the toilet was like a half wall,
just a
not a full
divider.
stall
A
wall.
divider.
Rock
Like
wall?
it was divided, but
Like
it was
a
more
rock
like it was
climb
usually it was like it was some.
That's what Brennan saw. He's like,
It's the rock wall.
for real.
I could climb that.
As a kid, I would climb on anything.
I would do tree
I
climbing.
was
too.
I was always that's all I would, whenever I saw something that I couldn't climb, I was just thinking about climbing it. Like I was really into climbing as a kid.
I could do that.
And no, so I would climb it all around. But anyway, one time, so back to one time I was just taking a piss, and I think it was I had a shit end. You know, like you had to do both. You know, it was one of those. It was one of those times. So I sit down, and at first I go to I'm like, well, I'm gonna pee. If I'm gonna do both, I'm gonna sit down for both of them. So I'm gonna sit down. I start peeing, and I don't know exactly why, but it was just the placement of my penis at the time shot right through
Under the lid.
shot between the lid
dude.
and the toilet
I know,
seat.
and
It
it's like-
shot through and it just pissed on the back of my pants, all on the back of my pants.
yes.
And I'm
I
just
remember
like,
that.
I'm in second grade, and I'm just like, this is a nightmare.
I
This
did that at
is-
my
this
house
is-
one time when I was doing that. Luckily, I was at home because I did pee on it did go on the back of my pants. Yeah, you're looking down. You're just
I
like,
don't
what
know.
the fuck? It's running.
I don't
out
know
of the
what I
toilet
did. I
seat.
think I just sat with piss the rest of the day because I don't recall calling my parents. Or there's a chance I called my mother. A chance. Not to say
She's
that-
like, sorry, tough
I mean,
shit.
no, she would have done it. Like it wasn't like a thing that wouldn't have been like out of the ordinary. But I just don't remember if I did it. And then. Actually, I do. One time, I did call my parents when I was in kindergarten. I remember shitting my pants in kindergarten, and it was a very much of I was an honest man. I was an honest 5-6-year-old boy.
I gotta call my parents.
It was
I shit.
diarrhea. I just blew those pants off, and I went right up to the teacher, pants full of shit, and I said, "Mrs. Smith,"
I just need to.
I said, "Mrs. Smith, I
need to call my
I went to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom in my pants," and she's like, she made me show her. She was like,
What?
Yeah, she's
That
like,
doesn't. That's not code now.
probably not, but
Let
she
me
was like.
see.
Let me see.
She's like, and it was a. I mean, it was a. This was
Don't turn
a.
around, but drop.
This was a full thing anyway. So yeah, this is my shit. How did we get on the subject? I'm really curious how we got
We
this.
want to tell poop stories, so that's why.
We didn't open just by telling poop stories, did we? Though,
Yeah, pretty much.
did we just open with poop stories?
I think so. She's like, yeah.
I don't remember how.
I kind of
Well, technically, we're definitely out of time
Yeah.
now. I mean, we can
We'll say our goodbyes.
we can say our goodbyes, or if anyone else got any random.
Do
we want to end
second
it
to
on-
last episode. That's kinda
Second to last
cool.
episode of the
For
season.
the season, at least.
Yeah, this was a good episode. I think this was good. And this was nice.
Nice little talk.
We learned a lot about everyone.
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
you
we really
all
did.
know how we shit our pants.
You know, hey, you know what though? This is what I like to say.
Sorry.
Think of
whoever had to
anybody.
Clean up them
I want you
silky underwear.
right now. I want you to think of
Watch
anybody in the
it.
world, any figure in history, anyone. Name someone.
Jack Black.
Jack Black. Name someone evil. Name someone you
Jack Black's
intimidating.
evil
Jim.
twin.
You know, Vladimir Putin. You know, Hitler.
Someone
They all,
evil.
at one point, anyone, the crush that you
They
have,
shit
you know,
their pants.
they shit their pants. At one point, you go back in time, far enough,
It's true.
they're sitting there with shit in their pants.
Oh yeah, George Washington.
George
All the time, dude.
Lopez.
George
Yeah.
Lopez.
So really, next time you see someone and you think that they're
Kevin
better than
Hart.
you,
Just know
you
one
know,
day.
you think that they're above you in some way, just remember,
You shit
they
your
also
pants.
sat there with shit in their pants,
One day.
That's right.
and they needed help,
So no one knows Shane's walking
And
all
they-
the way back from the back.
and
dude.
they, you know, and not only that, they couldn't. Not only that, they couldn't. It was a problem they couldn't fix themselves.
It's true.
You know, something they did intentionally, something that people planned for them to do, and that they couldn't help it, and they couldn't help themselves after it was done. So
And that's that.
so
Take that to the
so that's
bank.
other people for you.
Take it to
You
the
know?
bank.
We're all just people who once shot ourselves in the pants.
All right.
Well, anyway, that was Boo Talk, everyone. I'll see you next week and next season.